caramel, and this works unreal. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use or do vegan caramel on the internet yet. Yeah, I love
So
nobody
can you give
has
us the
it.
recipe?
There is no recipe, it's just like a basic caramel recipe, which is oil. Basically, you take sugar, caramelize the sugar, you add butter, then cream, salt. That's basic caramel.
So do you guys with earth balance?
No, we don't even use earth balance. I just use olive oil, some coconut oil. What else did I do? That was it. Sugar. No way. I did with the sugar first. I melted the caramelize the sugar, burn the sugar, then add the oil, and then add this to it. And it comes right out. You can add vanilla if you want to do as well, or whatever you want to do to flavor it.
What's the name brand of that coconut milk?
Native forest. That's like beef gas.
I think it's coconut cream. They sell coconut cream now. And then
Yeah,
it's settled.
Yeah, they sell coconut cream, but I'm not
It's
sure
just a
about that.
thicker version of the coconut now.
We used to have it in our hotels before, but I don't know like how. Well, I guess it probably is all organic.
They add chemical to it.
Yeah, somebody added some chemicals to it. Okay, so then to this we're going to add some coconut milk first. And peanut butter. I kind of forget what happens because I haven't worked with sunflower butter for a while. But the thing that I noticed with the peanut butter, the thing about peanut butter is that when you cook it, it thickens up even more. So for the purpose of this demonstration, what I'm going to do is just going to make it tight so I can get it on the plate to show it to you folks. And you can have it like at any consistency you want. It's either adding or taking away the peanut butter.
Can you use some coconut?
Wait, say again?
Can you use the baked coconut?
Oh yeah, you can afford that. Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's the stuff.
This one.
What do you call it?
Yeah, that's good. You might as well keep it raw then if you're going to use that.
Yeah.
You know, not even take it to the heat and then use raw sunflower butter and yeah, I would just keep it raw at that point then. It's kind of hard to show, but the other thing I'm going to add to this is some sweet Thai chili sauce. This is basically like sugar and chilies.
Sweet.
I particularly don't care for it, but so that's part it for this sauce. I don't know if I can tilt it far enough for you. So it just depends on how thick or how thin you want to use it. And you can use this application like, instead of making curry, you can make a peanut, put all your vegetables in and do a peanut sauce and however you wanted to use it. But for this, we're going to do like, actually, this ain't hot.
I like that.
So who in here name starts with a K?
Last name?
First name. Are you serious? That's kind of like how I like to serve it. So that was like really easy, really nice. Give it a try, let us know.
Keep the plate.
You can wake up here and you can't keep it. So take the long spoon. No, you gotta eat it.
Oh, yeah.
How many of you folks here are into fermented food? I'm like a big kimchi fan, so I actually like learned how to make my own kimchi, but I'm not going to show you how to do it. That's a different story. What we're going to do is the cabbage. We're going to do sauerkraut. I always wanted to learn how to do sauerkraut and asked so many people how to do sauerkraut. Nobody knew how to do sauerkraut. So I talked to this Hungarian lady a couple of years ago. She told me how they did it. And they basically do it is they shred out the cabbage and have this huge vat of cabbage. They have a couple people step in it and they just do it all the time. They step and step and step until it goes down and add salt. And then they would actually take whole cabbages and stick it in the sauerkraut and let it all ferment that way. So when the sauerkraut was done fermenting, they would take the cabbage out, take the centers out. These are Hungarians now. And so they would take this cabbage, because it was fermented, and they would make their cabbage rolls with it. It was just amazing. We had some, just amazing. But I can't do that on sauerkraut.
So sauerkraut actually good for you?
It is good for you. It is good for you. I'm going to get to that. But first, before we do, I want to share with you a natural healing remedy that I learned a few years back. It actually got wind of it in Roseburg. And this works miracles every time. So basically what this works on is, what's the word? Not only bruises, but like big, the story that I heard is from, he got hit with a bat.
A contusion.
Contusions, like real big. Yeah, he got hit with a bat. My wife got stepped on by a horse. So I'm going to use her story for this. And because it's really interesting, it'll only heal the portion of the skin that's covered by the cabbage. If it's not covered by the cabbage, it will not heal. So that means that it can cover it. And so when I was working at Mile, which was in the Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist school down in Roseburg, a lot of the girls play volleyball, and they always come with bruises on their arms. And I would tell them a story. I said, hey, come over here, you know.
When did you work there?
2 years ago.
I graduated from that.
Oh, cool.
How many from Milo?
How many from Milo? No way. Wow. That's pretty cool. So this is kind of like our ministry of healing, because I believe that only Jesus can heal us. And he gives us all the information that we need. And all the plants that he has provided us has all healing powers. Every aspect of any plant in the world, it has a healing power in it. No animal on this planet ever created by him has healing powers in it. Only in the plant has healing powers. And if you look in Genesis and in Revelation, he talks about those trees and those plants. And that's why we have so much phytochemicals. So in that story, I would like to share with you an object lesson that shows me Jesus' miraculous healing power. This is called the white cabbage or the green cabbage. It's known as the white cabbage some places. And Jesus has white righteousness. White means righteousness for Jesus Christ. And Jesus, right before he died, he was badly beaten before he died. A roller, you can use a bottle, you can use whatever. They did whatever they did with Jesus. That's what they did to the cattle. And once he was beaten and broken, he covers you and he covers us. So we cover the spot, we cover the area, and then we'll also take saran wrap and cover this area as well. And leave it here. And we just go to bed. And then we wake up in the morning and we take the cabbage off. And like how he takes away our sins and our infirmities, the things are all gone. All the bruises and everything are all gone. It's totally amazing. And it's with this cabbage.
We should say it works, because in our country we don't have much medicine, especially in village. And our kids always
Wrapping?
so we always wrap the kids and adult kids, so it works well.
Cool. That's the second testimony right there. So that's the healing miracle of cabbage. And then when it's fermented, it also has huge healing properties as well. It was said that Christopher Columbus took the sauerkraut overseas, and he probably would not have made it if he didn't have the sauerkraut because of the vitamin C in the sauerkraut.
Fighting scurvy.
Right. So this has a lot of probiotics in it, which is good for the digestion. So we were told that we have 4 pounds of bacteria in our bodies, everybody's body, and 70% of it should be good and 30 bad, better 80 and 20. And so probiotics works on the digestion. So not only if we eat the proper amount of food, if we have bad digestion, we're going to have bad absorption and we're going to have bad everything else. So we want to have a good digestion. And one way of doing that is also doing cleansing, like cleansing out the whole colon and the lower tract every once in a while. I do, we do. We have to, that's just part of the whole natural food. So what I do is, you can either use the mandolin, just go with the open blade, and either shred it this way, or just take the knife and trying to get it as fine as I can. Without getting cut. So when we like to do this, we like to do like a whole bunch at a time. It's just easier that way because this is like the hardest part of it. What I found is we're going to take the cabbage and then just beat this thing down with salt. So the Japanese version of doing it is just basically like, you do it like this, and you mix it with your hands, and then you put a rock on it, and you let it sit in the refrigerator for like several days, and the salt and the weight of the rock will eventually take it down. But it doesn't work this way with the sauerkraut, from what I understand. You gotta beat it down. So take whatever you have, whatever you can, use a bit of a pad or whatever it is, get it down. Yeah, you can step on it and use your hands. I found that this was easier. Using my hands to just get kind of tired. So what you want to do is you want to get the water out. Because the water is really important in the fermentation process. And so when you get a whole lot of it, it's just so much easier to do and just do it all at once.
Put it in, and then you put a clean plate on top and a clean washed rock, and you cover it then with a cloth and let it sit outside and become sauerkraut.
Exactly. But I'm trying to get the water out so I can show you the water. Maybe we should have let another contestant do this. It's going to take a while. So anyway, what happens is you beat this thing down, and then you walk away from it for like 20 minutes, and then you come back, and you beat it some more. Okay, you beat it some more. And so what you basically want the liquid. You need to keep the liquid. Because the liquid is going to keep it from getting rotten. So there's several different ways that you can ferment this. You can buy like crocks or, how did you say?
Yeah, we had big crocks,
Wood or ceramic, glass, plastic?
No, it wasn't glass, and it was thick.
We used aluminum, not aluminum, aluminum. Yeah.
Aluminum?
Clay pot.
A clay crock, yeah. It was glazed, the clay crock.
Ceramic.
It was ceramic type here.
Okay. So the kimchi experts, they use the ceramic ones. Those things cost big bucks. So if you have the bucks, you can buy the crock. Go to the Asian markets, they have them. I've used 5-gallon buckets before. I've used plastic tubs. I've used this before. It all works. The reason why you want the crocks, the ceramic, is because it actually breathes. It actually breathes. This can. So anyway, this was made last Sunday. So the thing with fermentation is all about temperature. If it's cold, it's going to take longer. If it's warm, it's going to go faster. Does anybody here do kefir water or any type of kefir fermentating, liquid fermentating? So when it's cold and I want to ferment stuff in my home, I stick it where there's a hot appliance. So I stick it in the back of the refrigerator while the heat is. So then it goes faster. If you have a whole hot wood stove or something, you can kind of keep it there near. Or if it's like this time there's a lot of sun, just put it in a dark, dry place, and it will ferment itself. Did anybody taste this yet? How is it?
Good.
So usually it runs like 2 weeks. So what you will do after you heat this thing down twice, you put it into your container, tell me what she says, and get the water to cover it. Get the water to cover it. I don't use the stone. She uses the stone method. I don't use the stone method. I use a piece of saran wrap or a piece of paper wrap or anything, and I try to smear out the water or the air. Try to get as much air as you can out. Also, when you're storing it, you want to get as much air out as you can, because the air is where you have bacterial contamination. And then cover it, seal. Once you have your paper, excuse me? You don't. The way you get the air out is with the water. The water will cover the cabbage. Then you can take it into some kind of cloth or paper. I use plastic and put it right on top and you'll smear out all the air bubbles. And you can also add a plate onto this. Some people use a stone. I don't. And then just kind of leave it like that for 2 weeks. By the first week, I'll go back in and I'll check it and see how everybody's doing it, if everybody's okay. If you want it more sour, just let it ride. Let it go another 4 or 5 more days and let it ride. And then by the second week, we should be all done. And just put it right in the refrigerator and store.
Okay, so you leave it down and you put the water in the cabbage. You add regular water to it.
You will need to. That's what I was trying to get the water out. There'll be like so much water that comes out of this thing. Yeah. It'll be like swimming in water, and this will go way down. So out of this, after I smash it down, I probably get like this much cabbage. It'll be all smashed down. Some people aren't getting it.
But here.
Which one is so good?
Yeah.
Yeah, fresh sauerkraut. It can't beat fresh sauerkraut. It's so good. And so that's how easy it is. And it's so good for you. Wait, did you need this? Sorry.
These are ours.
How is it?
Very good.
All right. So the only thing goes in there is salt. And then you can get creative. If you go into it with the cabbage, you can put like
Dill.
bay leaves, dill, you can add peppercorns, peppers. The Romanian Hungarian lady told me that they put these peppers in there as well. They'll shove peppers in there. You can probably ferment anything in iodine salt or sea salt. Sea salt, no iodine salt. Use only sea salt. You don't want to use iodine salt because it's basically table salt.
Can you use red cabbage?
You can use red cabbage, but I bet you it's going to turn purple on you. Because blood pressure? I'm going to have to look it up. I'm not sure. It has a huge amount of healing properties though.
Well, just because there's salt in it,
Well, if you look at the studies about the sea salt is used to bring down high blood pressure. High blood pressure is caused by iodized table salt. So that stuff is pure sodium chloride.
you want to get sea salt without iodine.
No, you want iodine in there. You want natural elements in there. You want natural nutrient enzymes and what else is in there.
Have real salt samples now.
So Crystal has real salt samples here. So that's all we use is the real salt. And they have the live, you can also buy the live salt, which is the Canadian gray, the Canadian French salt. It's wet, it's gray, and it's wet. That one's really good. Yeah, the Celtic sea salt, that one. It's a little bit expensive, like $7 a pound maybe. So we normally use down in raw foods. We use you can use the Himalayan. We use the real salt from Utah. You can use the Hawaiian Alalai as long as it's sea salt. It's from the ocean. It's just different color. We have the black salt, the red salt, the pink salt, the Himalayan. They're all good.
When you're buying sea salt in the grocery store, are all of them the same thing?
I believe it is.
Places?
I believe it is. We go down to the Natural Food Expo and everybody's trying to pitch their salt.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's just trying to get you to buy the salt. But I believe if it's just plain ocean salt, then you're good to go.
Yeah. Do you look at the prices of the Mediterranean or whatever advertising they put on there and go like, how can that be different?
Well,
Shipping costs.
I would just be kind of sketchy getting it in Fukushima area though, you know. So the salt is like cultivated from dead seabeds, dead salt beds from oceans from like years before.
Usually Mediterranean yeah.
But it's going to be better than the table salt. The table salt stuff is poison, stay away from that as much as possible.
So if it, a person has low blood pressure and eats salt, you have to raise this up.
If you have
Low blood pressure.
low blood pressure, you need to start running.
Oh, okay. A little foot that's been operated on.
The foot. So what's your question?